and welcome to Animal Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and the diamonds are put away, so now it's time to put away my Love Edition paintings. So they are all here. They were already pre-trimmed before when I kitted it up, which I thank my lucky stars for every single time it comes to actually putting them into my display book. So what I'm using, these I got from Amazon. I do have linked them. They are linked on my website under our favourites. But I like to use this A5 presentation display book. It has 20 pockets. Though I cut out some of the pockets that I don't use. I use one of these per set of PaintGem minis. And then I just have some A5 black card. Saves me cutting down A4 if it's already done. This one is 270 GSM. And I get these in a batch of 50. Again, these are from Amazon. I've then got, of course, my completed paintings, and then I've got these two from our shop. So this is the Love cover, shows all of the paintings on the front, and then the Love stickers, which gives each of them their name, so I can pop them in, and the title. Now, we've made up the names for these ones. PaintGem haven't named them when they've made them, but if they name them, then we use the names that they give for this. So what I do is I grab my trusty double-sided tape, which is also available in our shop, and I just put a strip on the top and the bottom. They are going into a pocket, so I find that a strip is plenty enough. It may even be a little bit of overkill, but this is the way I like to work it. So we have, this comes with 20 pockets, as I said before. I put one in per pocket. You could do more, by all means, because of the diamonds. And therefore, you know, if these images were just a sheet of paper, for example, then back to back in the book would probably work out fine. However, because they do have diamonds on them, which makes them thicker, I find that if I put more than one set in the book, I think there's only one set, I think is it Around the World? No, it's not Around the World. It's Her Story, which only had 6 in it. That's worth putting into one book. But the others are just worth putting the one. Or maybe it's Around the World as well, actually. Around the World 1 and 2. It's 2 different sets, but I've got them in the same book, because it only equals 12 when you've got them all together. I find any more than the biggest sets, which have 16 in them, it is just too much. The book for me gets too fat. It starts splaying out, and I personally don't like that look. So I stick to one set per book, which might be a bit extreme, but I like them. And I can always slip them out and pop them into a frame if I want to. They're probably my nicest designed stored paintings out of all of the ones that I have. My PaintGem mini sets seem to get the royal treatment, and it's just because the storage it just fits them so well, and it looks so nice. I do have at least one. I'm possibly going to end up having a second when we've finished decorating the hall, stairs and landing. But I currently have one of the houseplant edition is in a frame, on the bookshelf on the shelves in my kitchen. Shelves in my kitchen. But apart from that, most of them are in the display books. In fact, let's get the display book ready first. So say we have 12 paintings in this set. So I want to count out 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, which will be 1/2. And then there will be 4 sleeves that I don't need in the middle. They're the ones that I'm going to cut out. And I like to cut these out as close as possible to the edge. So I may have to pull this closer to me off camera shot, I'm afraid. Just so that I can get my scissors as close as possible and hang this off the edge of the desk. This is where I always fear I'm going to count something wrong or muck something up. But I take out 4 that side and then I do the same on the other side. So I want 4 out this side and then I have 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm double checking my numbers. I have 6 on the other side. Let's see if I can cut this one on camera. Again, I'm just cutting as close as I can. It's when I get near the end, trying to get my scissors in, gets a little bit trickier. It's not the prettiest, but it's not awful either because it is clear. So that now has 12 pockets. I'm also going to take out my front cover, pop those in the bin and pop in my new front cover, which is my PaintGem sets. That shows what I have in, which always just takes a minute to get it to line up the straightest. There we go. And that stuff was off the front. A little bit of rejigging. There we go. That lines up nicely. I will put one of the stickers on the spine, but now, do I put these ones in the same order that they're in on there? Maybe. Let's do that. Why not? Let's vary it up a little bit. Let's pop them in the same way. So if I can get my tape to start peeling off. Which is always the fun part. There we go. So I get those 2 peeled off. When I'm popping it onto my card, I like to get what I feel is a nice border at the top. It does end up being fatter at the bottom, but that's fine because that's where my sticker will go. So this one is Hot Air Balloon. I get that one as straight as I can, trying to use sort of the middle of the painting. It's not always the straightest, so I do try and put it down very lightly to start off with, in case I do need to move it up. But if I try and get the love where the middle of that balloon is, it tends to end up looking all right. So I've got my picture with its little title, a bit like an art gallery, and that one can go in my first sleeve. Sleeves are often feel like they're closed together. Oh, I'm struggling getting this in. There we go. Struggling with that one, wasn't I? What's next? The letter L, which we have here. I just quite like the order that they're in. I did wonder whether I was going to put the L-O-V-E in order, but I quite like them being spread out a little bit. So again, I'm just using the top edge. Doesn't have to be exact around, but I do like them to be exact at the side, or as close as possible and look quite nice on the top. I also have a rogue diamond there, which has not come off this image or the last one, so it must be one that I had floating about beforehand. And then again, just try and get that centered, or at least looking centered to me. And then we'll pop that in the next one. Again, this is something a bit like when I was de-kitting. I like to pull the stickers off as I go along, because otherwise it's a tedious project if you do it all together. It's the same with slipping them in the wallets. I like to do them one at a time rather than doing them all at the end. So now I need the I Love You lips. There they are. Let's put that letter E at the top. So we have the lips. So it does mean I'm opening and closing the book. But I say, just to me, it saves me doing, you know, something that's, well, it's exciting to pop them in the book. I prefer, you know, the putting them on the card and the stickers on the card. That's the exciting part for me. So I move that out of the way. Try and make sure that that is fairly nice and straight. And then we have the lips. Love lips. And again, I think that's, well, it's a little bit to the left, isn't it? Get it over just a little bit more. Love lips. Again, get that to open up. We have the lips, and then the next one on here is the bottle. And we've got two stickers here. One's called Heart Potion and one's Potion Bottle. So this one is, I'm going to say this one's Potion Bottle, though the other one, you could put it whichever way round you wanted, because this, actually, no, this might be Heart Potion, I think. Megan named them. And I think it's a matter of personal preference between these two. So that one is in a heart-shaped bottle, but that one has hearts inside it. So I'm going to call that one Heart Potion. And again, I think that is just purely personal preference, because PaintGem themselves haven't named them. It does become a matter of, what do you want to name it? Is the answer to that one. What do you want to call it? And I'm going to call that one Heart Potion. Then we have the flower heart. A heart with order flowers. Pretty pretty. So again, double-sided tape is probably the messiest part. You could use some sort of double-sided tape runner, and then you probably wouldn't need to do that step the same. Then we've got flower heart. Try and get it roughly where I think it's halfway. Keep double checking I'm not missing any sleeves while I'm making the effort to put these in order that they are on the front, which you don't have to do, of course. You can do it any which way you want. I'm going to have the letter O. Now this is the one that I do like to check I've got it the right way, because you can have it either way, but I do find that the shading is thicker at the bottom than it is at the top, the shading on the letter O, and that's the only thing that's determining which way up it's going to go. But it doesn't look wrong the other way up, which is a good thing. because I very nearly forgot to even check that. So then we've got letter O. Love letter O. And that is halfway, at least we should be halfway through the book. Yes, again, still double checking the pages that I cut out. If you're unsure, you could always do half from the front, half from the back, and cut out your pages once they're in. Just as another double check. It's feeling a bit brave. Then we want the letter V. So actually doing it in order of the picture does end up with two letters, one after the other. So maybe you prefer to vary them up, or maybe put the letters all together. It's completely your decision. And you can even do it one way and then take them out and change it. Because that is the way this book rolls. You can do what suits you. So letter V, and we're starting on the next side of the book now. We've hit the middle. Then we want the cupcake. Nice big cupcake image. I've got 2 pieces of card. And some very sticky tape. Very sticky double-sided tape. Oh, try and pull that off quickly because I ended up dropping it straight onto my card. I thought it was going to rip it then, but hey, mustn't have stuck down that well. So then we've got cupcake. Isn't it sweet? So pretty to do, so fun to do that one. To be fair, the letters were quite fun as well. I enjoyed the different shadings because the shading of pink in the flowers is different to the shading of pink in the letters. Then we've got the Miss You envelope, and you can actually read the words, which is always good. I can get in it. Come on. There we go. Free up my corners so that I can see where is roughly the middle. And then we've got envelope. Am I in the middle? Roughly enough. I'm saving time by not closing the book every time I do it, I think. And actually, maybe it is. I thought it wasn't in the middle enough. It might not be. Okay, so Missing You envelope. Now we want the padlock. Gorgeous design on that padlock. I think this was one of the first ones that I did, was the padlock. I know it was a while ago. I did a couple in Australia and then I did all the rest when I was home. I didn't do any more. I didn't do that much diamond painting in Australia. I did a few PaintGem minis and that was it. Felt kind of like going cold turkey from diamond painting. But then we've got the padlock. Love padlock. Bob that one in. Very close to being able to do a flip through. Then we want the letter E. Sometimes I think it's easier to pop the double-sided tape flat on a table rather than holding it up. Peel back the corner, and if you don't end up if you end up pulling the tape up as well, you peel up the corner and then push back the tape so it goes flat, and then you can peel up the rest. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. If anybody else does it the same way, it'll probably make complete sense. If you don't do it the same way, It'll probably confuse the heck out of you. But I'll try and show you what I mean when messing with double-sided tape. It's the easiest way I've found to do it, though there is probably an easier way. But I pull back the corner, and at the moment it has pulled back the corner and the tape, so it's pulling the whole thing off. But then I push back the tape with my finger, and if you can see, I still have the top coating the other side of my fingernail. So then I can pull the top coating fully back off. So I peel it back. If it brings back both, that's fine. So again, it's pulled off both the tape and the back cover, but then I try and push back the tape but not the top cover. Push the tape back off the wax coating so that the tape's stuck but the coating's off, which gives me a corner then to pull it off fully. Hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully you can actually see it in the camera screen, because sometimes I was looking at that and thinking, can you even see it? The randomness that is filming and the views that I sometimes get that are a bit different. There we go. So that is the book. I still need to put my sticker on the side, but we have the hot air balloon, the letter L, the lips, heart potion, because I think that's more got hearts inside it, flower heart, the letter O, the letter V. I might change them up a bit. Then we've got cupcake, the envelope, the padlock, the letter E, and the potion bottle. And there is my completed book. It's still a little bit thicker. If I squeeze this down to be straight, it is still just a little bit thicker. So if I pull it, you can see it does bulge just a little bit because of the diamonds all being in the same place in the book. But to me, that's sort of the maximum I'd like to go. I find if I'd have filled all pages and filled them back to back, it would have looked like that by the time I was finished, and that's a bit too much for me. Last but not least, I'm going to use the sticker that's titled Love, and I'm going to pop this on the spine of my book, which they fit gorgeous. And this is how I can tell when I've got them, I have them all lined up on my shelf, which one is which for each of my PaintGem mini sets. I'm going to keep hold of those last few stickers. I use them for labelling up things, so they won't get wasted. And I'm going to pop that cardstock back with my empty books ready for future sets. So that is finished, which means I can take my cover off my box that helped to label them up inside out. I can take out my little pink trashy. I've got a diamond that's floating about in there as well. Oh, it's actually in the pot. Okay, get out. I have a couple of little glue dots which I'm going to keep in there just in case they're needed for the next set. And for this box, I have put in the smaller containers, food camera, so that I could put in more colours than the 28 that comes with it. Because a lot of the PaintGem kits now seem to come with 30 plus colours. But I have an empty storage box, which means I need to kit up another PaintGem mini set soon. Might be another week or two. I can't remember when I've scheduled it in, but I will be using my decision wheel to decide what is my next PaintGem mini set to kit up, ready to go. But for now, I'm going to go pop this on my shelf with all the others and tidy up my little bit of mess over here. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.